Hey team, Rowyn here. I DM'd a TTRPG for the first time recently. If you saw my video on making monsters, you've already seen a little bit of what I used for it. Like this guy. And now I get to tell you why I drew this nonsense. So that's exciting. So anytime one of us has a birthday, we get to pick our DM and the system we're going to use for one shot. Also, we play online every week so that we can play with our friends who don't live terribly close to us. Well, one of our friends, for whatever reason, decided that I should DM. And he said it was because he wanted to know what the inside of my brain looks like. And I thought, funny joke. But then everyone got really excited about it, so fine. And I decided, since we play over the internet anyway, it'd be fun to share my screen and have it be this little adventure in this way. I used old art, mixed and matched with some new stuff, basically used this as a test run for Escape from Corn's book. It's a point-and-click adventure game, a video game that we're developing, and all the art will be different for the game, but it worked for my purposes here. Had a whole escape plan. Yeah. Rob helped me make the map, and even printed and laminated one for me to keep on my desk during the game. Map. Originally, I was just gonna do Tiny Cthulhu, because it's a good one for one-shots, and it's really simple. You just use a d6. You add a d6 if you're gonna do advantage. I decided that was all actually too complicated for what I wanted to do, so I simplified even more, and I made it so the players didn't necessarily see what they were rolling, and I thought that was more exciting. So I did advantage differently, and I did most of the rolls behind the scenes, so my players wouldn't necessarily know if they were, like, going deep into madness or not, which was fun, and my players thankfully had fun. And I have this laminated sheet now that only really works the one time, so I don't know that I need it laminated anymore, but it was really useful at the time. So we have the player, the player's name, we have health, we have the mental, whatever. I would just add a checkbox, mark, an X, every time that something was going horribly wrong. They each had a special thing they could do that would gain advantage, and a special thing that they were really bad at. I kept track of fails. After an object failed 3 times, they were supposed to lose the ability to use the object. And I was told everybody had a good time, so good. I don't want to ever DM ever again, but it was fun. So yeah, general tip for DMs. If you ever want to laminate a sheet, instant dry erase. Pretty cool. So I'm going to show you some of the things. I'm not going to show you everything. There was a lot. I did so much I didn't have to do, and I did mix and match old art and new art, but you'll see there's some photographs versus watercolor and all that, but I wanted to show you just the basics of what I put them through. Everybody said they had a good time. I want to emphasize that over and over. Everyone said they had a good time. So this is the dumpster, and some of you might recognize Dead Ray, the Cornsworth Killer. The doll is new, and I tried to make it so everything was very interactable. So if someone looked at the bottle, which of course someone did, and they said, okay, I want the message in the bottle, well, they take the message, message in, message out, and then, oh look, it's the message, huh? And they can read it. And I had fun with this. I had a lot of fun with this. They took the doll, so on and so forth. Fly flies away. You can see in the window one of the other sets. So if they went in to see the motel, this is part of what they would see in the motel. I can actually show you that right now. And in that, you could go through different doors and open and see what was going on in different rooms. And this is all stuff from Entropy Head. And then there were codes that they could use later. I put too much energy into this, I think. Way too much energy into this. But I had a good time. And so did everyone else. So if you went to the asylum, you would see all kinds of other things. But after you get to this main area, you can go through the ward. I have Jimothy there. Jimothy has a video on his own, of course. And the office. This was the office. You can peek behind the couch. He's behind the couch. His name is Mr. Spindles. They actually had a big conversation with him. Turns out he's gonna go be a realtor. Anyway, I wish we had recorded any of this, but we didn't, and that's fine. You could look through that window and the horse becomes this, and of course I would roll for madness when that happened. But I think most exciting is if you went through the ward. You would see Garnet. And Garnet could do a couple of things, because she could walk up to you if she wanted to talk to you. And this is why I love having all the different layers for this kind of a game. If you ever watch Jawfy, they do Jawtectives, and I imagine it's probably set up in a similar way for the players. Though then she also does a lot of animation after the fact for viewers of the show. So back to Garnet, she would tell the players, hey, you have this magical thing, go ahead and read it, and once the player read it, then this is what happens to the background, and she can sit back down. And these symbols came up later in the game. They would have to paint them elsewhere. So there was so much, and I just had a good time, and these are similar things. This part might actually be exactly what you would see in the point-and-click game, because this is all new. I drew it all for this. I'll fix the actual cell. I'll make it not that. But otherwise, her and the symbols will probably be the same. Those are the same symbols in Entropy Head as well. I like the lore I've started to create in Cornsbrook. Cornsbrook is where everything happens. It's where... bathroom. It's where Oh Haldana takes place. It's adjacent to where Moth takes place. It's where Ugly Fish takes place. Everything takes place in this horrible little town. This is the basement from Entropy Head, and then I added the cabinet. When you're walking down the stairs, I had them roll, and if they didn't roll well, then they're seeing this on the way down the stairs. This was just a mutation march that I happened to like. But if they open up the cabinet, they get to actually see what's in the cabinet. That was very important to me. And they could open up that book, How to Win, and that would tell them where the symbols go. Get out of the cabinet. And if they painted the sigils, that's what it would look like. Which again, is just copied from Entropy Head, which is such a big book. And I even had it so it was one at a time, which was really good, because one of the players did say, oh, I paint this one first, and I had to look through and go, okay, this is the T one. It worked out. Summon the Triggerman. This one was a very, very old monster. Like, I drew him in ink, and then I futzed with him and fixed him up in Clip Studio. But it was nice to have him have some new life, so I might actually have him in the final game, just because I like him, and what the hell else is he doing with his time? Might as well put him in something. Most of the game is going to be very, like a dating sim, where you're going to be able to talk to characters, and they'll be very close to you, whereas the background is sort of stagnant. Because, you would want to date this, right? It won't actually be a dating sim, but it'll be, it'll be similar to a dating game in terms of the way it's laid out. Carnival. You can see that this was not drawn to be this way. And that's Vince from Oh Haldana. I assume he's sitting on something. Otherwise, where are his legs? In any case, this is what I did as my first time as a DM. And it's all about telling a story with your friends. Which I did. And they helped Garnet escape, and they brought her back with them to college. So, players are going to do what they want to do. Alright. That's all I wanted to talk about. Rock on!